Welcome back to the Heal and Restore podcast with your host, me, Randy.
Me,
Randy. And yo, Cathy.
Oh, what language are we? What nationality are you becoming?
I don't know. I don't want to say nothing because I'll get in trouble.
Yeah,
It'll
that'll
be
probably
discriminatory, so
yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Let's keep it.
So we'll just keep it. But I want to say something.
What's that?
You notice I got a nice shirt on
I
today.
do.
Right?
I do.
Last week she goes, you always wear the same T-shirts. So I listen to what my wife says. She wants me to look nice. So
I want you to look nice, but I know you like to be comfy.
yeah, well, this is comfy. I like
Okay.
this kind of shirt. It's comfy. So.
Okay, good.
But thanks for
You look nice.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
So do you.
Yeah.
So the Heal and Restore podcast, where our heart is to help individuals and couples grow stronger through healing, honest conversations, and meaningful connection. We talk about real life topics like communication, forgiveness, intimacy.
That might help a little.
Intimacy, family, and emotional health. Because healthy relationships begin with healed hearts. Thanks for tuning in as we take another step together toward restoring what matters most.
Yeah, what matters most is our emotional health. Emotional health, yeah.
Right? Now, public service announcement. We think we have the glitch fixed.
We hope we have the glitch
fixed. We hope we have it from the last couple of episodes. We'll hope. Okay? So anyways, today's episode is going to be titled, When Your Body Keeps the Score, the Physical Effects of Emotional Abuse.
Emotional pain.
Emotional pain. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that word is so intuned in you.
It's so intuned in me.
Yeah.
The physical effects of emotional pain, and they are many.
Yeah.
Right? We're talking about something many people experience, but often don't fully understand. The connection between emotional pain and physical health.
Yeah.
And there is a correlation. Right? So many people live with chronic stress, anxiety, exhaustion, tension, headaches, digestive issues, sleep problems, or emotional burnout.
Wow.
Without realizing their body may be carrying pain their heart and mind never fully process.
That sounds somewhat familiar.
Yeah, I would say that. And I want to just talk about Dr. Gabor Mate real quick, because he was a physician for many years, and he worked with a lot of chronic illnesses on people. That's all he worked with, right? Crohn's disease, diabetes, heart stuff. And he decided at one point in time, I'm going to start interviewing my clients and finding out about their life. And through his interview process, he found out that 100% of the clients that he interviewed had unresolved childhood issues, trauma,
emotional pain. Yeah, there's a lot of that
in
stuff.
their life, all unresolved, and that was pretty much the crutch of their physical illnesses. So
yeah.
Just remember that. And I myself had an experience when we first got married, extreme stomach
Well, you've
pain.
had it off and on throughout our marriage.
Right,
as
but
well.
I remember the one time when you took me to the hospital in the middle of the night, they
Couldn't find anything wrong with you. Yeah,
So
that's true.
Once I got into recovery, I haven't had those
No, it did.
since,
Yeah,
right?
once you worked on the stuff, yeah.
Well, the truth is, our bodies were never designed to carry unresolved emotional wounds forever.
Right. That's
What we
good.
suppress emotionally often shows up physically somewhere else.
Yep.
And a lot of people are walking around with suppressed pain.
Yeah.
They just don't realize
Yeah.
it. The truth is, our bodies, I just said that. Why do I keep repeating myself?
I don't know.
I don't know. Today we want to explore how emotional pain affects the body, why unresolved trauma and stress don't simply disappear with time, and how healing emotionally can also begin to bring healing physically. And I know that factually.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If you've ever felt emotionally drained, physically exhausted, or overwhelmed by stress, this conversation is for you, and you ought to start listening to your body.
Right, yeah. Well, one thing that I've had to learn to do over the years is to start really paying attention. I'm not great at it, but I do notice things differently now.
Yeah, in fact, if I didn't know my body so well, what happened to me in February probably would have resulted in
Yeah, that's true.
What I thought was hay fever was actually a heart issue.
You mean valley fever?
Valley fever, not hay fever. I'm sorry. What I thought was valley fever, which is
Common out here.
Common out here, turned out to be a heart issue. So
Right. And the fact that you knew what valley fever,
yes, exactly. I
what
had
the
it
symptoms
before,
of that
right,
was. Yeah.
So the body was never meant to carry constant stress. And generally we wake up, there's two, our stress level is going to be about a 2.
Yeah.
Because just life.
Just normal stress.
Just normal stress, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things many people don't realize is that the body responds to emotional stress the same way it responds to physical danger.
That's right.
When a person experiences fear, rejection, abuse, betrayal, conflict, or chronic anxiety, the nervous system shifts into survival mode.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I've experienced that for a good part of my life.
Yeah.
For some people, that survival mode lasts for years. Thank you very much. That was me, like 38 years. The body stays tense. The mind stays alert. The nervous system never, ever fully relaxes.
Yeah.
It's always on hypervigilance. And I remember, Cherie, when she used to give me massages, she goes, how come you can't relax? You're always so tight.
Right.
Right? And
Yeah.
I didn't realize that it was because of all the pain.
All the emotional stuff you were
emotional
carrying.
stuff I was holding on to.
Yeah.
Eventually, the body does begin to speak what the person has never fully processed emotionally. Many people are functioning every day while internally carrying unresolved grief, childhood wounds,
Yeah.
relationship trauma, fear of abandonment,
Yep.
chronic anxiety, emotional exhaustion or burnout, right? That's burnout. Years of people pleasing or over functioning.
Yeah. Wow.
You were a people pleaser.
Yeah. No, that's why I say I've begun to recognize a lot of these symptoms that I carry as a result of my emotional,
Right.
unhealthy emotional stuff that I've been carrying.
And oftentimes those that are carrying that emotional pain from the past, like myself, will go the opposite of being people pleasing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to
Definitely.
do what I want when I want, right?
Right.
And while they may look fine externally, internally their body is under constant pressure,
Yeah.
like a volcano just
I was
waiting to
just that was
burst.
exactly what went before my mind was like a volcano just building and building and
building
building.
and building,
Yeah.
and it reaches that point where it can't take no more, and then it just explodes.
Right. And I think that the thing that we have to realize too, if we're honest with ourselves and we look at this with an open mind, is sometimes we think that we're just tired.
Yes.
Or
yeah.
we're stressed out. But what we're really experiencing is emotional overload. And it's something that's been building for years, like that volcano. And the body can only carry so much for so long before something physically surfaces.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And there are people, right, that are tired or stressed out. Not everybody is going to walk around with this.
And a lot of us, avoiding vulnerability means that, and it just builds within the body.
And these things Cathy just mentioned all result. I firmly believe this, and I've seen it in most of our clients. It's a result of the not only unresolved pain, but unresolved childhood trauma.
Oh yeah.
That's where we start developing these things.
Right. No,
right?
absolutely. Absolutely.
So some of the common physical effects of emotional pain. One thing we want listeners to understand is that emotional pain can affect nearly every part of the body.
Right.
That's a big deal right there, because it can affect your digestive system, your lungs, your heart, your joints, everything.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Now that doesn't mean every illness is caused by trauma or stress. That we got to make sure that they know that. But emotional health absolutely affects physical health.
Yeah.
And some common physical symptoms connected to chronic emotional stress can include, and these have all been proven scientifically and physiologically and psychologically, right?
Yeah.
They can include headaches, muscle tension, digestive problems. Yeah, right? I still deal with that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get it resolved.
Yeah.
But of course, again, that could be a result of the hernias and all the mesh I have in my stomach.
That's what I'm saying. The root of all of it was the emotional pain you suffered for many years of your
Right.
life.
Right,
And
exactly.
it's still affecting you today because of all the things that you've had to go through.
Sleep struggles. Oh my God. Sleep was a pain for me. It was really hard for me for a long time.
For a long time, yeah.
A long time. It's not now.
His head hits the pillow and he's
I'm
out.
gone. Panic attacks, high blood pressure, chronic inflammation, difficulty concentrating, emotional numbness, and lowered immune function.
You're getting sick all the time.
Right, all the time. Many people live in a constant state of fight, flight, or freeze, or shut down without even realizing it.
No.
It just becomes, it's like normal for them, one of those things. It's just a normal behavior that comes up.
And they don't know it any different.
Nope, exactly.
But the thing that we have to remember is over time, the body really begins to adapt to survival instead of peace. So people that are, having these symptoms, they're in survival mode. That's not peace.
No.
And then for some, rest actually feels uncomfortable.
Yes, very much so.
Because their nervous system has become so used to stress and the hypervigilance that it brings. You struggled with that for a long time, of being able to sit still and be at rest.
Yeah, I couldn't. It's like I always had to be doing something. Mm-hmm. Once I got into recovery and worked with my therapists and my mentors and all that, now I can sit down and it's 100% different.
But it took a long. It
took a long time. Yeah, I had to learn how to do that. It's a new behavior. I had to learn that it's okay for me to rest, to take care of my body. Right?
Yeah, because some people don't know how to slow down.
No.
And that survival just becomes normal.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Some of the things that happen is busyness becomes a distraction.
Yeah, absolutely.
I stay busy, I'm going to be okay.
You won't think about these things.
Yeah, you overwork becomes your identity.
Right.
Just keep working, and that becomes your identity. Taking becomes self-worth. If I just take care of everybody else, it makes I feel good about myself.
Correct.
But I'm not taking care of myself.
That's the whole thing.
And then control becomes safety. We kind of take over, and eventually that body will start saying, I can't keep carrying this. It wears the body down.
You go back to caretaking, became self-worth, and here's the excuse, well, I take care of everybody else, so I don't have time to take care of myself. Put everybody as the
your
codependency.
Survival mode becomes a distraction to taking care of self.
Absolutely. It's called codependency. And people hate that word, right?
Well, I don't hate it. I embrace it now.
Well, a lot of people don't like it. Yeah, I embrace it. You embrace it. One of my professors absolutely. Sometimes I bring it up just on purpose to make her mad.
Why does that not surprise me?
Well, I mean, I go, okay, I'm sorry. It's one of those words. It's often surfaced in adulthood.
It's so interesting that we talk about this because a lot of the things that we share on this podcast are all learned behaviors, and we like we're talking about, they're in survival mode.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden adulthood comes along and we're like, oh, what is this? Why is this happening?
And they generally start surfacing once you become involved in an intimate relationship or marriage, right? I mean, my new book is just this, understanding the long-term effects of childhood abuse, right?
Yeah.
People don't understand it,
no.
right? So, in fact, the first chapter I had proofread by my stepsister's cousin, and she said, thanks, this gave me a lot to think about.
Right. It opens up the mind.
It opens up
having
the
a realization
mind. Exactly, right.
Of life.
So often the effects, many people believe if something happened years ago, it shouldn't still affect them today. Man. But unresolved emotional pain doesn't stay buried forever, right? What happens during their lifespan is that pain from the past, the innate survival skills that I believe God gives us just take over. So they're navigating through it, and they just think, well, it's just who I am, and I'm going to be okay, and it's no big deal, so on and so forth. But the reality is that it's not okay. Yeah. And for a lot of those people, those repressed feelings are alive in their body, right? And the other thing causing all that. Absolutely.
And so what are the effects of those things that surface? That's the interesting part. I think we all go through life thinking we're all good until things start surfacing.
Yeah, like I said, they'll surface later in your marriage, right? And parenting, conflict, intimacy, health struggles, burnout, anxiety, emotional triggers. I mean, all these are something we talk about with all of our clients about, right? Because intimacy is something that people don't understand. It's all, when they hear the word intimacy, it's about sex, physical intimacy. And people don't understand that and we learned this ourselves. We had to work through it. It's just the emotional intimacy that must be built first. That's going to be a strong foundation for the physical intimacy. Even if you're 10 years into the marriage, you start building that emotional intimacy, watch your physical intimacy just explode, right?
Yeah.
And the emotional triggers and the anxiety. So the body remembers what the mind tries to forget.
I've heard that statement so many times.
The body will never lie to you, and it will never forget.
No.
That's the truth of the matter.
Absolutely. And you know, in this process, when we're going through these emotional things, a lot of times we'll minimize our own pain.
Right.
Because we'll think, oh, somebody else had it worse than me.
Yeah, absolutely.
But one thing we have to remember,
Yeah.
trauma's not a competition.
No.
You know, my trauma was worse than yours. No, we're not in competition when it comes to trauma.
There was a gentleman years ago that joined our group that we had back then. And his trauma, it was one thing, and it was just something that happened at birth when he was circumcised. And it messed this guy up. I'm hoping he's okay. He was really struggling with what happened to him as a newborn being circumcised. And he was, I'll just say it, he was jacked up for more than anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Right, honestly.
Yeah, but trauma's not a competition.
No, it's not a competition.
Everybody has, we stand alone in it, unfortunately. And if something's overwhelmed your ability to cope emotionally, it really matters.
Yes.
You matter.
Right, absolutely.
And so healing will begin when we stop dismissing what is hurting us. We have to stop dismissing what is hurting us, and we need to title it. We need to call it what it is.
Call it what it is.
Journey.
Trauma is trauma. And like I said, I had some radical trauma in my life compared.
Big red light. That's your signal that something's not right.
I heard this the other day, and it's really powerful. We have to quiet our minds enough to hear God talking to us and to listen to our heart. Because if our minds are going, we can talk ourselves out of anything.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So we need to be able to quiet that mind, self-reflection, to really be able to hear what our heart and God is telling us.
That's good. Yeah.
So healing is both emotional and physical.
Yeah, they
right?
connect. There's no question about that.
Absolutely, right? The encouraging news is this. When healing begins emotionally, many people also begin noticing changes physically, and I will attest to that.
Yep.
A lot of physical.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought I was in good shape before.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you know, so, but this doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
Right. It doesn't happen perfectly.
No.
But it's very gradual. It takes
over
time. Because
Yeah,
what you're
good.
doing is you're bringing up the truth and you're renewing your neural pathways.
Right.
And it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time.
Yeah.
Some quickly, some slowly,
Yep.
right? They sleep better.
Yep.
They breathe deeper.
Oh, yeah, you breathe very deep.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You snore very good.
Well, so do you.
I know.
Yeah. So actually, I think the competition you would win.
Okay.
I think you've cut down more trees than I have.
Okay. Well, maybe that's because I've had emotional health longer than you. I don't know. It's not a competition, I know.
They feel calmer.
Yeah, that's true.
Their anxiety lessens. Oh yeah, I mean, my anxiety today is all self-induced.
Yeah.
Right. I don't have that general anxiety disorder like I used to have.
Yeah.
Right. It can go into remission. I want to let people know that. But you need to follow your psychiatrist's instructions.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not a psychiatrist. I just know what happens to
Yeah.
me. Their relationships improve.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, man.
God.
I have seen ours to speak of, our whole family's relationships have improved. I've seen a lot of other people's family improve,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, definitely.
And their body no longer has to stay in constant survival mode.
It's relaxed.
It's relaxed. The hypervigilance. I'm trying to think. I don't know the hypervigilance goes away fully. I mean, I'm aware of my surroundings all the time.
Sure.
And part of that is for myself, but part of it's for my family and for the people around me.
Oh, I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm aware of that as
Yeah,
well. It's
I mean,
just,
I
I think
think
that's just a common safety mindset
Absolutely.
that we have to
Yeah,
walk with.
yeah, but it's not like it was before.
Yeah, no.
So,
So here's the thing: is healing. It often starts with creating safety.
yes.
You know, we have to create that safe space. And where are those safe spaces? They're in relationships. They're in conversations. It's setting boundaries, having safe boundaries, and safe environments where people can finally stop pretending that they're okay.
Absolutely.
And you know, I when I see this stop pretending that we're okay, it just reminds me is that I created this image of the white picket fence around our family, and everything was good to the people on the outside.
Right.
But I was pretending because
The
there was
facade.
a lot of things. There was things going on the inside.
All right, we got this great facade. I mean, you guys are both successful in what you do, right? Randy's got a great construction company. Kathy's successful in escrow. Look at that. You know, you have not an extravagant house, but a nice house. You're driving nice vehicles.
Yeah.
Boy, we look good.
We did, but all these things were falling apart on the
They're
inside.
all falling apart on the inside, right?
Yeah.
And the safety part, all right? That takes time to rebuild. Most of our clients, either one or both, say they don't feel safe in their house and having conversations. So when all this stuff, if you're struggling with this, we at Healing and Restore Counseling can walk through this with you.
It's not uncommon.
It's not uncommon, but we start with taking a little risk. Right?
Yeah.
And we had a client just recently do that, and they had a great. I mean, it went wonderful.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just taking those little risks slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and healing also requires,
There's that word.
honesty. And that honesty starts with ourselves. I can't say this enough. About ourselves. We must become rigorously honest with ourselves about ourselves. We cannot heal what we refuse to acknowledge. So like Kathy said earlier, name it and name it.
Yeah.
Name it. Don't run from it anymore. You've got to name it. It's okay. It doesn't define who you are. It's something that just happened to you, right? Yeah. Healing means, there's that word, slowing down. How do I do that? We'll help you through that. Grieving losses, right? I think when we think about grieving losses, a lot of times death, but I remember Kathy in a grief class, she grieved the loss of my childhood, right?
Because it was affecting our relationship.
It was affecting our relationship,
it was not a safe
right?
relationship at the time.
Right,
Yeah.
and I had to do a little grieving on that, right? So there's a lot of things
that grief will affect.
That grief will affect.
Yeah.
So we have to allow ourselves to grieve the losses. We have to learn how to set boundaries. And those boundaries aren't for the other people, they're for us. They keep us safe, right?
Absolutely.
You've got to be able to process trauma, right? You got to ask for help. Forgiving ourselves, right? Letting go of shame and allowing for ourselves to rest. Now, when it comes to forgiving ourselves, I have a theory. And I to me, it's really powerful. But if we're Christian, or if we believe in God, and we ask God for our forgiveness, right? God automatically forgives us fully, as far as the north from the south, east is from the west. So if God forgives us, what right do we have not to forgive ourselves? Are we saying we're better than God?
Your emotional exhaustion.
Yes.
You feel it, you know it's there. Let's not minimize it.
No.
We don't need to make it bigger, but we need to acknowledge it.
Exactly.
And then the third thing we want to do is we want to create space for rest and reflection.
Yes.
What does that look like? Maybe it's just taking a weekend off and doing nothing. Maybe it's taking a drive somewhere. Maybe it's sitting at a lake or a river and just reflecting on where you're at in life. But you have to be intentional about creating that space.
Exactly.
The fourth thing is talk to someone safe and trustworthy. And I hope that you know who we are as Heal and Restore Counseling, that we can be that safe and trustworthy person for you.
And I want to say this on that. I meant to say it previously, but what started me on this journey, because all my life my feelings were never affirmed. There's never no affirmation. It was always, you're stupid, blah, blah, blah. So what started this for me was, number one, my therapist, Deborah Mines. When I went to her, she was very understanding. Right? For the first time in my life, they believed what I was saying. They affirmed what I was saying. They didn't affirm my behavior, but what happened to me, and then when I got in Betty Ford, it's like, these people are believing me. For the first time in my life, they're not telling me I'm wrong.
Right. Nope.
So that was a safe space, right?
People, yeah.
And so Cathy and I, and when I was going through AA, my mentors were very safe to talk to also. Right. So you can't always go to an outside source. You have to, or friends, I should say, you have to remember there's a lot of people out there with very good intentions.
Right.
But oftentimes they do more harm than they do good.
Yeah, so
right?
find yourself someone safe to talk to, someone that's trustworthy.
And that's something that we built into Heal and Restore Counseling very much.
Yeah.
So.
The fifth step towards your healing is learning healthy coping tools instead of survival patterns. There is a difference between coping tools and survival patterns.
Absolutely.
And so the only way you're going to learn healthy coping tools instead of those survival patterns is by having someone safe and trustworthy,
yes.
and somebody that understands what you've been through, somebody that maybe has experienced what you've been through, because they're going to lay out what worked for them and give you those tools that you can apply for yourself.
We like to say when we do that, it's a proven path, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we come from a proven path on multiple different areas,
right?
And for multiple years. Right? It's not just a one and done. It's not, I just went and got an education, boom, now here we are doing it. No. We've learned ourselves from real life experiences in many different areas.
Yeah. And the last practical step towards your healing is, I think one of the most important ones, is giving yourself permission to heal slowly.
Yes.
It's okay to take this journey. Give yourself permission to feel what you feel and to walk through your healing journey. Because healing is not a weakness.
It takes a ton of courage.
It takes courage, absolutely. But ignoring the pain, that's not a strength.
No, that's a weakness.
Ignoring the pain is not a strength.
It's a weakness.
And so your real strength is having the courage to face what hurt you so you no longer have to carry it alone. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that once you go through this healing journey, you're not carrying it anymore. You have people on your side that are walking through that process with you.
And giving yourself permission to heal slowly, right? This isn't a quick journey. There's no quick
it's not
fix,
a one and done by any means.
Absolutely not, because you're taking a whole lifetime of behaviors and actions and beliefs, and hopefully what you're doing is you're renewing your mind, transforming and renewing your mind, right? With the help of people that have walked in your shoes prior, right? So the journey requires giving yourself, and we say this all the time, a lot of grace.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's not a quick, easy
Love
fix.
yourself enough to give yourself the grace that you need to heal.
Absolutely, absolutely. So if today's episode resonated with you, we want you to know this: your body's not working against you.
No.
It may simply be responding to pain it was never meant to carry forever. And healing is possible. Cathy and I, we believe that to the depths of our souls. We really do, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, why? Because we've experienced it, and we've seen a lot of people experience it around us.
Yeah.
No matter how long you've been surviving, there's still hope for peace, restoration, and healing, emotionally, mentally, physically, and relationally. We don't want you just surviving, we want you thriving.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to thank you again for spending time with us today on the Heal and Restore podcast. We always appreciate our listeners tuning in. And if this episode encouraged you, or any of our episodes that have encouraged you, please share it with someone who may need it. And don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, follow us along on all of our social media platforms, because our future conversations that help, we want you to heal and grow through those and help strengthen your relationships. I think that's one of the things that's really important to us. And so we put these out there for that purpose, because we know the difference in living emotionally drawn down to having a good emotional health.
Right, and spiritual health. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
And we haven't done this for a while. I want to just say, all my books are available on Amazon, and paperback, Kindle, and Audible. And it's, the first one was Healing the Wounded Child Within, right? That's a great book to help people. It's not a dark book. It's a book of hope and healing, right? I got The Healing Path, The Survivor's Guide to Healing from Abuse, right? All these books have been helpful in a lot of people's life. And then we got the marriage books. We got How to Heal and Restore Your Marriage, Renewing Bonds. Sorry, I got to look at them. The heart the
Healing
healing
Path.
path, and quit taking things
Yeah.
personally, and Hearts
Yeah,
Reunited.
they're all available on Amazon. So you
Exactly.
can just Google up the name Randy Boyd or Randy and Cathy Boyd, and you'll find the books
Right,
there as well.
exactly.
Yeah.
So they're all, the marriage books are little short books, just real quick reads. But the other books, the other two books on abuse, they're a little bit, well, kind of lengthy, not real lengthy.
Don't give away your books like that. Just let them buy the book and dive in.
Dive into it, yeah. Yeah, so remember this. If nobody tells you they love you today, Randy and Cathy do.
I do for sure.
And God does.
Yeah. Did you forget what you were
Most
saying?
important, no, I was looking at something. Most importantly, God does.
Yeah.
So be blessed, everybody. Have a fabulous week.
Have a great week.